Okay, բարի երեկո, Էվա ջան, ինչպես ես? Ella, I can't hear you. Okay, dears, I hope you are okay and everything is fine with you. Today we are going to have a lesson connected to all the tenses, like past, present, and future versions. We are going to watch a very detailed video about it, and we are not going to do exercises because I want to give you time in order to realize and study the whole material. And I guess the next lesson will be about exercises and training about tenses. So now I'm gonna show the video about verb tenses, and after it, we are going to have some cultural and historic events and videos. So let me turn on the video.
Hello friends! In this video we will talk about verbs, conjugations and tenses in Armenian language. Let's get started! When we talk about verbs in Armenian, you can clearly separate two distinct classes. Verbs which end on "el", like sirel, and verbs which end on "al", like kartal. In this case, sirel, to love, and kartal, to read. And that's it. There are no exceptions and is pretty much as simple as that. Now, obviously you have some irregular and regular verbs like in any other language, but I'm going to consider only the regular ones for this video to not make it too complicated for you. The only exception would be the verb to be, since it's used to form certain tenses in Armenian language, so I can't skip it. But this would be the only exception for that. When it comes to tenses and verb forms, the Armenian language has a huge variety, but we will focus on the following four: simple present, future, simple past, and present perfect. So let's get started with the most basic time, simple present. Let's see how we can form a verb to say I love or he loves. As I've told you before, we have to have a look at the irregular verb to be, since this is a part of the conjugation for example, in this case, simple present. Here is a table for the verb to be. Linel. I am, yes, am, you are, du, es, he, she, it, is, na, e, we are, menk, enk, you are, duk, ek, they are, նրանք են. Two information here. In Armenian, you do not differentiate between he and she. You just have one word na for both of the sexes, and you can also skip the pronouns. Because the conjugation is specific to each person, you don't have to name it explicitly. So if in Armenian you could say theoretically, I read a book, but you could also say read a book, and it will be understood that it's I that read a book in this case. Let's see how we can form a simple present. We will simply take the infinitive form of the verb, in this case read, kartal, and we will get rid of the ending al, which would be the specific ending for verbs, and we will just delete it. Then we are left with the stem of the word, of the verb, in this case, gart. Then we will add and we will have gartum. And then we will add the conjugated version of the verb to be for a specific person. For my case, if I want to say I read, I would say gartum em. I could say yes, gartum em, I read, but I could also skip the pronoun I and I would just say read. And you would still understand that it's me that I'm talking about. So it's yes, gartum em, the complete sentence, or gartum em. And one more thing here, you would keep the word gartum and the conjugated version of the verb to be separately in written form. Now let's have a look at this table. I will just read it as an example for you, how you would pronounce the conjugated versions for each person. For the verbs love and read, the verb love would go the following way. Sirum em, sirum es, sirum e, sirum eng, sirum ek, sirum en. And the verb gartal, read, would sound like this. Gartum em, gartum es, gartum e, gartum eng, gartum ek, gartum en. Now let's move on to the next tense. Simple future. In English it would be I will read. We will form this future tense in a similar fashion as the present one, with using the verb to be. Let's have a look at the verb read, gartal. In this case, we are not getting rid of any part of the verb. Instead, we are adding just one letter, u. We will have the verb in the following form, gartalu. And then we will add the conjugated form of the verb to be. So, the whole construction would look like this. Gartalu em. In this case again, you will write gartalu together and em separately. So we will have gartalu em. Again, let's have a look at our table, and I will just read from top down 2 verbs in Armenian. The first one, love, sirel. Sirelu em, sirelu es, sirelu e, sirelu eng, sirelu ek, sirelu en. And the second verb, gartal. Gartalu em, gartalu es, gartalu e, gartalu eng, gartalu ek, gartalu en. I hope you are not overwhelmed yet, and I can continue with the next one, the simple past. In this case, we have a different approach for the verbs which end with L and the ones which end with al. Simple present is a little bit more complicated, and there are lots of exceptions and specific rules for some verbs, but I decided to keep it simple for the majority of them. So let's start with the verb love, sirel, which ends with L. To form the simple past for this verb, we will again delete the ending of the verb L, and then we will add the simple past ending, a syllabus, ets. Now we have siret, and we are going to add another Armenian letter, E, at the end to form the simple past. So we will have an ending E for the first person, and then it will differentiate depending on who is talking. We will conjugate the verb sirel following way for the simple past. Siretsi, siretsish, siretsing, siretsik, siretsin. Again, we can leave out the person if we are using the verb because you have just one specific ending per pronoun, so it's understandable who you are talking about. Now let's have a look how we can conjugate the verb gartal for the simple past. The difference between gartal and sirel is the ending al, and this is basically the second type of the verbs in Armenian. There is a slight difference how we form a simple past for these verbs. That's why I included them separately. So again, we will get rid of the ending of the verb and leave the stem, which would be gart. We will add again the ats instead of ets in this case, because it's a verb with a l at the end, so we will add a c at the end, so ats, and then we will have gartats at this point, and we will add again the endings, which we already know from the verb sirel. Now we'll have the following verbs in conjugated forms: gartatsi, gartatsir, gartats, gartatsing, gartatsik, gartatsin. Now I have a table for you to compare both of these verbs in their conjugated forms. You can pause the video, have a look at them. If you have any specific questions, let me know in the comments. We are already at the present perfect, almost at the finish line. I'm going to explain the two verbs love and read in the present perfect, which is I have loved, I have read in English. For this, we are going to use the conjugation of the verb to be in simple present. You are already familiar with this conjugation. We used it at the very beginning of this video, so this is nothing new. Now let's have a look how we could form the present perfect for the verb sirel, or love. Again, we will get rid of the ending of the verb el, and then we will add the present perfect ending. In this case, it's again el. So we will have again sirel, and then we will add the verb to be, but conjugated. So to sum it up, for the verbs that end with el, in this case, for the verb love, sirel, we will have the present perfect such as sirel em again. The verb sirel would be written together, and the verb to be in a conjugated form would be written separately. Now let's have a look at the word gartal, which is to read in English. You would expect in this case that you would just simply delete the infinitive ending of the word, in this case al, and then simply add el plus the conjugated form of the verb to be. Like for the case sirel, it would be el and m. But no, sadly this would be too easy. Without getting too much into complicated grammar, I will just say that the verbs that end with al form the present perfect a little bit differently than the verbs that end with el. Let's have a look at this case. In this case, we will get rid of the ending al, and then we will add another syllable here, which is the ats that you already know from the simple past stem. After that, you proceed in the same way for the verbs with the ending el. So we would have gart, ats, el, m. Again, gartatsel, m. Gartatsel, m. As in other forms you've seen so far, the verbs that you would create with the help of the verb to be would be written together, and then to be, the conjugated form of to be, would be written separately. Now let's have a look at the table. I will read all the verbs in the conjugated form for the present perfect for you. And if you have any specific questions regarding this tenses in Armenian language, Let me know. I know this was a lot. So let's start with the verb love. Sirel M, Sirel S, Sirel E, Sirel Eng, Sirel Ek, Sirel N. Now the verb kartal, read. Կարդացել եմ, կարդացել ես, կարդացել է, կարդացել ենք, կարդացել եք, կարդացել են. That was it. I know it was a lot. If anything was not clear, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye!
All right, dears, this was the video about Armenian tenses, and the most detailed and finalized way I could find was this one. I will send you some screenshots of the table so that you can have it with you and you can have a look whenever you want and study up to the next lesson. What I wanted to add is that you are not going to have any exercises right now about these tenses, and you will have some days up to Saturday in order to finalize and in order to study all the materials. And today I just want to focus on the cultural part of our lesson, and also I'd like you to watch another video I'm gonna speak about later on. What I wanted to tell is that taking the chance of the day, like 21st of September, I want you to know that it is the day that we celebrate Armenia's independence. It's Armenia's Independence Day. It's a day that marks the restoration of our independence in 1991. This day represents the strength, resilience, and the unity of our people who have faced challenges throughout history, but have always risen with pride and determination. And I'd like you to take a moment to reflect on the importance of freedom and also independence, and what it means to every nation and what it means for us as Armenians. And I think this day is time to honor our heritage, culture, and the sacrifices of those who fought to preserve it. And now, my dears, I would like you to watch the Declaration of the Independence. The speech will be in Armenian, but it will have English subtitles. So connecting to our Armenian language course, I'd like you to improve your listening skills for Armenian by means of listening Armenian and having English subtitles. So it's very exciting and emotional video for Armenians, so just enjoy it.
Հայաստանի Հանրապետության անկախության հռչակման մասին հավատարիմ մնալով Հայաստանի անկախության մասին հռչակագրին, հենվելով մարդու իրավունքների եւ ազատ ինքնորոշման միջազգային նորմերի վրա, նպատակ ունենալով ստեղծել ժողովրդավարական իրավական հասարակարգ, հիմք ընդունելով 1991 թվականի սեպտեմբերի 21-ի ԽՍՀՄ կազմից դուրս գալու մասին անցկացված հանրաքվեի արդյունքները, Հայաստանի Հանրապետության Գերագույն խորհուրդը հռչակում է Հայաստանի Հանրապետությունը անկախ պետություն։
Հայեր, որի Հայաստան եւ որի ստյուրս աշխարհի։ Արթնացեք եւ ուխտեցեք, մնալ հավատարիմ, ազատն հայք նահաբեդին եւ մեր հոգիների լուսավորչին ամենասուր։ Ողջույն եւ օրհնություն Հայաստանի ինքնիշխան անկախ մեր հանրապետության, օրհնություն եւ փառք մեր ազատադենչ ու հավատավոր անմահ ազգի։
All right, dears. So it was the declaration of our Independence Day. It's an old video and it was in 1991. And while this is a significant milestone, it's important to remember that Armenia's history goes back much farther, over 2,850 years. Our nation has a rich and ancient history full of remarkable achievements and resilience. Despite facing many challenges, Armenia has stood strong, preserving its culture, traditions, and identity. Today, and exactly in 21st of September, we honor those who came before us, who fought for our freedom, and we celebrate the strength and unity of our people. And I'm so grateful that today a lot of people around the world gather together to learn our beautiful language and to get acquainted with our history, ancient heritage, and a lot more. So thank you very much for your action, and it's very pleasing for me, and it's pleasure for me to be your teacher and guide. And what I want you to watch now, it's just a short video on YouTube about Independence Day of my homeland. It's very short, but it has influence that I would like also to experience. Let me share it.
Կզեմ կազմից դուրս գալու մասին անցկացված հանրաքվեի արդյունքները Հայաստանի Հանրապետության գերագույն խորհուրդը հռչակում է Հայաստանի Հանրապետությունը անկախ պետություն։
Բացարձակ արժեքի անկախության ինչպես կարելի է հաստատ։ Նույնն է ուզել ասես, ինչ կարծիք ես ծնողիդ մասին։
Okay, tears, and I hope you felt all the inner energy and experience, and you got a piece of history, and it was about our strength and also the challenges that we had to overcome. But I'm happy that my nation was strong enough to face all the challenges and stand together hand by hand and create beautiful and also very important heritage. And now I'd like you to watch a short video, another video about the inventions that Armenians made and those that have changed the world for a better place to live in. Maybe you have watched such video or no, but I think you will find some interesting and new facts.
All right.
Yes, dears, and yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for celebrating our Independence Day with us. This is about the inventions.
Inventions and discoveries have shaped civilization and transformed life on Earth. Many of us are familiar with these inventions and use them every day. But not many of us know that the authors of the most famous inventions were Armenians. Today, few people have heard of Christopher Tersteropian, but everyone knows the color of dollar. Christopher Tersteropian created a special color that can't be fake. The color of dollar is green, and it's very difficult to reproduce. It was invented in 1854 and is still in use. For his work, Tersteropian received $6,000, which allowed him to continue his study. Luther George Simijan was an Armenian-American inventor. Simijan is best known for his invention of the automated banking machine. His more than 200 inventions also included the self-focusing camera, teleprompter, and so on. Varazdat Kazanchyan, Armenian-American surgeon, a father of modern plastic surgery. He performed the first cosmetic surgery in 1914. After the First World War, a corresponding department was created at Harvard University, and the first cosmetic surgeons were retrained. Arthur Bulbulyan invented the famous A-14 aviation mask. The oxygen mask was used in World War II by US Army and the Air Force. In 1954, Alex Manukyan manufactured single-handed faucet that produced hot and cold water. It was a revolution in a water supply system. Raymond Damadian is the inventor of the first magnetic resonance scanning machine, one of the most useful tools of our time. Asatur Sarafyan was an Armenian-American inventor. He is considered by some people as the father of automatic transmission. He is the inventor of automatic transmission for automobiles. You can find Sarafyan's name as the author of many other inventions. Artem Mikoyan was a famous aircraft engineer. He designed MiG Soviet military aircraft. Hovannes Adamyan, considered an author of more than 20 inventions. Hovannes Adamyan developed the technology that laid the groundwork for the invention of color television. Adamyan's main contribution to the development of color television technology was his three-color principle. In 1925, in Yerevan, Adamyan created and demonstrated a device for broadcasting color images. Artashes Haikanyan created the first plastic container, a Coca-Cola brand plastic bottle machine. At different historical stages, Armenians have always surprised the world with their inventions, which in many ways made our life easier and convenient. Taking a retrospective look at the invention of the past, we can say with confidence that new inventions are expected in the future.
Alright, dears, thank you for watching the video, and I hope from now then you have learned a lot of new Armenian names, and you have learned a lot of new information, and you're going to use it and have understanding what comes where and so on. Thank you very much, and I'd like also to learn and get acquainted with your research for our next lesson about famous Armenians and also famous people from your countries, and you are free to make comparison and bring additional information. As I have mentioned, today's lesson was not going to be very hard. It was going to be a bit more cultural and so on. So I'd like to finish today's lesson with a very positive note, with an Armenian song sang by two sisters. They are really famous, and in their video clip you are going to see how Armenians party may go on, and it's kind of how to say, house party. Not that very big, but I hope you will feel that cultural identity and gain a lot of insights. So let's just watch and listen to that music. I hope you will enrich your vocabulary of Armenian as well by means of the videos I'm showing you. Is my screen visible for you, dears?
Yes, but there is no any image. There is black.
Okay, so I will make it go on. And now?
Now, yes, clear.
All right, dears. Thank you. The name of this song is My Name is Armenia, like Imanona Hayastane. And you are going to listen again and again that very phrase, so I want you to understand the meaning. It means my name is Armenia. And also it keeps repeating that I'm free and independent. My name is Armenia. I'm free and independent. Իմանունը Հայաստան է, ես ազատ եմ եւ անկախ։ Okay, dears, let me read your comments. Yes, the video and the song was about our Independence Day, but it was an old video. If I'm not mistaken, it's been, yeah, in 2011, so it has a history more than 13 years. Yes, Armenia is the first country that has adopted Christianity in the 4th century, exactly in 301. And yes, in the video you saw different churches in different places. And as I have mentioned, it was kind of celebration, but not that very big one. But it had cultural some details. Okay, my dears, I think this is enough for now. I've prepared some other videos and video clips, but I don't want you to get bored, so that I will share the links to our group chat, and you will have enough time to watch them. Thank you for joining today's lesson. Please, if you have some questions connected to tenses, feel free to ask me whenever you want, and you can ask your questions in our group chat so that your co-students can be aware of those questions and they might find some answers as well. All right, my dears, thank you very much for today's lesson. I hope you really enjoyed it and you have learned a lot more about Armenia, Armenian culture and its history. I'm very happy that you joined today, and thank you. Շնորհակալություն.
Շնորհակալ շնորհակալություն.
Good job, my dear.
Շնորհակալություն.
Yes, I'm շնորհակալ. Հաջողություն։
Bye.
Bye bye.